talking about being a professional, and many of the kids who are watching us, they have this urge or the will to be a professional one day. And there's a completely different mindset of being a fan who practices and try to keep up on the licks that you get from the idols, and like focus on the career, right? And you said something very important. People might not understand. We do it to feed ourselves. I mean, to earn. It's not only the romantic side,
or to be a rock star. Sometimes we need to pay the rent.
Yeah, and these guys here, they're very focused. Here in Brazil, it's a good school because things are not easy.
A lot of people, I've been doing a lot of interviews before coming here, and a lot of the interviews asking me, first of all, how many bands and how much music I was aware of before I started coming here so frequently. And the only two bands I'd heard of before I came to Brazil the first time was Angra and Sepultura. Everything else I had to learn when I started coming in. I started realizing the talent pool in this country is insane. There is, like you said, the dedication that especially the guys I play with, but I see others like Bruno and the ones coming up, the next generation. My God, they have a laser focus, and what they're playing is just, it's almost like we laid the foundation and now they just made it better. And that's, I love seeing that, especially coming here so frequently, so often, because I can go to other places around the world and with pride, I can say, you want the best musicians in the world to go to Brazil because these guys are really amplifying. It's really stepping up.
This is so nice to hear, isn't it?
Oh, yeah, it is.
Every day we see Brazilians playing with bands in America and Europe. And
I go
a lot of Brazilians.
I go see bands on tour, and I don't know, if it's a famous singer or a couple of famous people in the band, and I don't know the other people. I meet them afterwards. A lot of Brasileiros coming up to, hey, Jeff, I'm a big fan of yours. I'm like, I'm from Brazil. I'm like, so many from Brazil and the U.S. doing great things. It's awesome.
That's nice, yes. We're in a good moment. I mean, especially for drummers. I mean, we have Eloy Casagrande, from Bruno, Edu, and many drummers that. I mean, the drummers community.
Yeah.
They have their eye on
of course.
The Brazilian drummers right now.
Even Achilles is doing stuff with Wasp and Tony McAlpine. He's doing a lot of stuff in the U.S.
You're right. Great number. And have you heard of a shitty band called SPEKTRA?
I try to ignore them.
You try to.
It's. I was going to say something, but it's too rude. No,
I heard you helped them out.
Yeah, well, that started. I've been trying to get BJ into Frontiers because it's the kind of music they love and the kind of bands they like to sign. It's perfect for him. It's right in his wheelhouse. But for some reason, they were not resonating to the material I was bringing in. No, it's not for us. So finally, I was writing some songs with a writing partner of mine, Alessandro Davecchio, and we wrote a couple songs, and we said, you know what? These songs, BJ would sound great on them. We demoed them. I wrote the lyrics and melodies. We demoed everything. I said, BJ, just follow the leader. Follow the lyrics, follow what I did. He sang it even better than I sang the demos. We submitted to Frontiers, and that's where he finally got the deal. But they didn't want to sign BJ as a solo artist. They wanted to sign him as a band. So obviously, he brought these guys in, and it made the most sense to do it this way.
I didn't know exactly the details about the story, but I loved it. I loved the video clips, the songs, to see them together.
Yeah.
Back then, when they used to have a band,
Tempest, of course.
Tempest, of course.
That's where I first met them.
It's a legendary band here in the Brazilian scene because it was outstanding. You know, I mean, among the others. And I'm already a fan of these guys,
Right.
Not only individually, but when they're together. Because they look as a family. They have something to bring to people all together. And
well, that's now that we're talking about that. I mean, I kind of left Leo out because we were talking about how much I love him, and the only thing we know about him is kisses. But his guitar playing is, again, there's nothing I can't give him to learn or to play with me that he can't play. And he's just, every time it just blows me away how good this guy is. He's a great singer, he's a great guitar player, but more importantly, he's a great person.
Yes. Yeah.
Ding, 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 ding.
This is a good time.